again, we're going to keep going for Unit 3, Section 1. This is the third video. And we're going to start with the Canadian provinces. So the sign for Canada is my A hand shape. Taps against the side of my, my chest, similar to the sign for soldier or army with both hands. So Canada, Canadian. Some people used to like actually grab your shirt. You don't need to grab your shirt, but Canada or Canadian, I think, like Mounties is how I remember it. The sign for Alberta, and I don't know why any of these are signed this way. I'm not Canadian, so, but apparently the sign for Alberta is signed like this or something like that. British Columbia is BC. Manitoba, it looks like a cross with the M. New Brunswick is NB. Newfoundland, I think is how they say it, NFLD. Northwest Territories, NWT. Nova Scotia, NS. Nunavut, NVT. I don't know if I said that right either. Ontario is O with a circle. Prince Edward Island is PEI. Quebec or Quebec. Saskatchewan, SASK. And Yukon is spelling the entire word. Again, ASL is signed in Canada. It is American Sign Language, is in North American Sign Language. So this curriculum includes them. So if you ever need those signs, there they are. I very rarely use them myself. All right, next, vocabulary about the compass points, just real quick to throw this in. The signs are with your letters and moving in that direction. So N is the opened up version. My hand gets tilted to the side, moves up for north. South is my S, pulling down towards the south. East moves off to the side. And west moves off to the west. This is as if I am looking at a map as a right-handed signer, and west would be that direction. However, if I'm actually in a location where, for example, at my house, west is this way, I would sign west in that direction if I'm referring to which direction it is currently where I am. Some interest vocabulary. Again, we're getting to know ourselves. We're going to be introducing ourselves and talking about things that we're interested in. So a couple of basic signs. The sign for beach. This hand is the shore, so it kind of holds it sideways. This hand is going to be the water, so it's going to wiggle as I come up and back. Beach. Ocean is a compound sign for water, and then they're showing the signs of the waves. Some people show theirs going up and down, or up and down like that. To rollerblade, this book was from the mid-2000s, so maybe this was cooler then. Don't see much of this anymore, but to rollerblade, with our B hands, comes from the sign for to roller skate, with our two bent, looks like a bent V hand shape showing the wheels. Roller skate, rollerblade. Ice skate is with an X. All in those same movements, showing the movement of the feet. Then to ski is holding onto the ski poles and moving them forward. So to ski is different than ice skate, back and forth, to ski forward. And to visit, this comes from the sign for to see. You're seeing them over and over because you're there visiting. And it kind of moves down and just is little circles coming forward and back. To visit. Next is just a little vocabulary for some of the things that they showed. There are signs for these, so I threw them in there. Disneyland. Disneyland is a D, and it wiggles back and forth. Sweet is one of the ways people remember this. Place where you smile a lot or laugh a lot. Disneyland. Mickey Mouse has his own little name sign. This is his mouse ears on his head. Hollywood. So we have the sign for vacation. It alternates in and out for Hollywood. Statue of Liberty. You hold on to your torch, you hold on to your book. whichever one feels most comfortable for you. This one feels best to me. And 2 different signs for tornado. My fingers wiggle as this one kind of moves further away to show the funnel cloud. You can also use this middle finger push forward. That same movement. Tornado. Little quick note about fingerspelling 8-letter names. Just keep spelling until you get to the end of the word. Remember, your fingerspelling space is little, so don't get yourself all the way out here. Just spell real little in this little area. If there is a sign with like an O, an apostrophe, the O names, you twist the O towards you and then spell the rest of it. So for example, O Neil or O Brian. So just that, twist that O. This would be true of any other letter with an apostrophe, O being a very common one here, but if there's another name that you see that like it's a D apostrophe, you would do the same thing with the D. Saint names, ignore the period and just spell ST, then pause and fingerspell the next word. If you're talking about an actual saint, then you could sign saint, which is a sign for nice or clean with an S, and then spell that person's name if you're talking about Saint Patrick, as opposed to if you're talking about like St. Patrick's Cathedral, Saint St. Patrick, or Saint Paul, or Saint Thomas. And last is multi-word names. A slight pause can be made between them, especially if it's an unfamiliar word and you're trying to explain how it's spelled. There's no need to pause necessarily. You can just get them pretty close together. So, like De La Cruz, De La Cruz. Tierra del Fuego, Tierra del Fuego. I had tiny little pauses in there. Now, numbers 31 through 100. The first 30 were tricky. The last 70 are very easy. If you've gotten this far, you can do it. So numbers 31 through 99 are just signed the way that they're written. So 31, 32, 33 is a special one. We'll get to that in a minute, and so forth. So if you see 2 numbers together, you can sign them together. Don't sign them the way that they're spoken. It's not 31, because that's a 3 and a 0 and a 1, and that looks like 301. So 31. There are 3 exceptions. These are correct. If you get confused by these and these are too much to handle right now, you can literally just sign 3 next to each other and it's fine. But there is a rule for the doubles, so we're going to talk about those. 22, 33, 44, 55, 66, 77, 88, and 99. Those double numbers all point down towards the floor and move slightly to the side. The last ones are a little bit harder, so I'll get to those in a minute. But always move your hand to a little bit to the side when you switch numbers. And keep your hand in place, though, when you're signing for the decade. So 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90. They don't move to the side. 91 moves to the side, but 90 just stays in place. So there are 2 numbered exceptions. They're kind of tricky. Again, if they're too much for you to handle, just stop watching now. But if you are curious, here you go. Number exceptions for double-digit numbers with both numbers 6 through 9 when the second number is higher than the first. I know you're already confused. Here they are: 67, 68, 69, 78, 79, and 89. You twist the second number to the inside. I think of it like opening and closing a door, or towards the person in a way, but to me it's more like a doorknob. So I start with my lower number to the side, and I twist up this way to the second. 67, 68, 69, and I'm emphasizing this, doing it a little bit bigger. 78, 79, and 89, because the second number is higher. All right, one more. For two-digit numbers, when the second number is lower and both numbers are 6, 7, 8, and 9, which are 76, 86, 87, 96, 97, 98, you twist them the other direction, down. So 76, 86, 87, 96, 97, 98. Yikes, are these required? Why do we have them? So these have developed over time to increase clarity and understanding, to make it more visually clear. These numbers, there's very little difference between them. So if you're doing two of them together, it can be hard to see. So that movement helps you to see the numbers better. It's also easier to move them in that direction. But so it's important for you to be able to kind of at least recognize it. But if you don't use them, it's okay. And very last little bit here, signing 100. We've made it to 100. Sign the number 1 and then move your hand back into the letter C, 100. Remember, C is the Roman numeral for 100, and all 100 signs are the same way. 100, 200, 300. You move your hand back towards the C. 5, 6, 7, 800, and 900. There's another version of that, but we're going to save that for another time, another chapter. So that is all that we have for this unit.